What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today, I want to talk about a game called Spongebob Truth or Square. Me and my middle child actually played through this game. We beat it. I've never beaten this game before. I've had it for years, and it was one of those games that I just, had on the backlog. And we finally did it. Not only did we beat the game, we actually got all the achievements for the game. Now, this game came out in 2009 to celebrate SpongeBob's 10-year anniversary, and it's by THQ. Now, I personally have a very love-hate relationship with THQ. I think that this company has, they make solid games, but there's always moments in their games that are super frustrating. And for me in this game, one of the frustrating things with this game, now I know this game, you're looking at almost 20 years ago, so I understand. I'm just telling you, my experience with the game. The camera is definitely kind of a nuisance at times, fighting some of the bad guys. The camera wouldn't adjust or trying to, pinpoint your platforming. When you're trying to do a jump, the camera sometimes is your biggest enemy. And the other thing too is I had a hell of a time getting the last achievement where it was like upgrading all of SpongeBob's like furniture and stuff, because the game doesn't tell you that you have to upgrade all of it at the same time. So the first time I played through this, I was upgrading it casually as I was playing, and apparently that's not the way to do it. From what I looked up online, you have to upgrade everything at once, so you have to actually save up about 15,000 coins, go in, I think you have to beat all of Act 1, all of Act 2, do the extra stuff in those acts as well, and you have to then upgrade everything at the same time. So after doing that, a couple times, it still didn't pop, and then finally I got it to pop after I fought the giant Squidward robot. But anyway, so that's the negative stuff for the game. That's the cons, in my opinion, for this game. This game was a fun little game, though. It's only like, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours long. It's not a long game at all. Not very challenging either. I mean, it can be, obviously. There are moments that are a little frustrating, like I said, and especially for younger, younger players. There's like my middle child did have some difficulty, especially with some of the later levels. But me and him did have fun playing this. This was something that was fun that we played together. There is a 2-player option where the second player plays as Plankton, but he doesn't really do much. Like, realistically, he just kind of like floats around and kind of, you can zap some of the enemies and stuff, but you don't really do all that much. But it's a nice little thing for, like in our situation, I would sometimes let him play as Plankton when it was a difficult level or a difficult part, and then I would play as SpongeBob and we would get through the level. So, he felt, it was nice because he still felt involved in the game. He still enjoyed the game, but it wasn't all the pressure on him. You know what I'm saying? Graphics are fine. It's classic 360 PlayStation 2 style graphics. Early 2000s 3D stuff. Combat's okay. SpongeBob has like 2 major attacks where he can spin around or hit his enemies with a spatula, or he turns into a spatula to his enemies. The point of the game is you are trying to retrace your steps because SpongeBob lost the Krabby Patty secret formula. So he's trying to go through the levels, and he's trying to retrace his steps to where he might have left it. This game, to my surprise, actually got pretty high ratings. I didn't think it was going to get that great of ratings. I figured it was going to be, in that like 6 out of 10 type of rating, but a lot of people actually really enjoyed this game. This game actually got higher than I thought. I think I saw like 4 out of 5s, 7.5, 8 out of 10s. Like, some people really, really enjoyed this game. And I can see why. I just personally wouldn't give it that high of a rating. I think like a 6.5 out of 10 or 7 out of 10 is pretty generous and fair, I think. SpongeBob also has, some minor collectible stuff that you can go back to replay. You got some different costumes that you can change the characters into. You got they're called Tiki challenges. They're just minor little things to get the other collectibles. They weren't difficult at all. They were pretty quick. Like I said, the game's not a long game. I think you can beat it in like 3 or 4 hours. But it's a fun little adventure, especially for someone who has young kids and for someone who's maybe like a huge SpongeBob fan. This game's definitely fun to check out. So, I mean, obviously, if you're a big SpongeBob fan, you probably already played this game. Probably played it multiple times. But if not, if you're a SpongeBob fan and you have young children around and you're trying to think of a game that you can play with young kids around, this is definitely a good one to pop in there because, like one of my big challenges being a father and trying to play some video games is that I have to be careful what I play. I can't just play whatever I want in front of my kids. You know what I mean? My kids like to hang out with us in the living room. They like to be around. So I can't be, playing GTA or anything like that while they're up. So I try to find games like this that will actually be enjoyable, not just for me, but also for them and be appropriate for them. So if you're a parent and you're trying to find a fun game that would, kind of like give you some fun as the player but also be appropriate for a young child, this is definitely a good one. I think THQ did a pretty solid job with this. You get to see all the SpongeBob characters that you love, and you get to spend a few hours platforming and doing some minor combat. So that's it for me, guys. I just wanted to do a quick little video, and I just wanted to, throw this out there. If anyone hasn't played this game yet, but they're thinking about it, this is definitely a solid game. And the thing is, too, this game's even quicker to beat if you don't care about the achievements and stuff. If you're the type of person that you just want to play through the game, you could probably beat this in like 2 hours, maybe 3. So if you don't care about achievements or trophies or whatever, this one's something you could definitely, get done in an afternoon, get it off the backlog, off your list there, and move on. And something you could play with, like, a nephew, a son, a daughter, whatever, on like a rainy afternoon. You guys bang this out real quick and have some fun with it. But that's it for me, guys. I would love to know if you guys play this game. I'd love to know what you guys think about it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later, guys.